Welcome back to the House with No Name. So far, you've seen us do a lot of painting, and whether you like the colours or not, it was a great way to get some quick wins and help our abandoned house in central Portugal feel a little less abandoned. But now we start work on some actual DIY projects, aside from the plumbing. But don't worry, that saga continues. We're building our own kitchen completely from scratch, and if you need a reminder of what that's going to look like, here's our idea. Okay, so plan for this morning is going to be second coat on these worktops. Just flipped them over. Amy's on some calls this morning, so I got down early to kind of get these done so they can dry, so that we can get them out of the way and we can start work on all the rest of the timber that we have, because all that timber also needs planed, sanded, and then varnished with our wenge coloured oil. The reason we went for those is mostly kind of cost was the biggest thing. Like, that wood is the thicker stuff. The bigger stuff for the legs is about €6 for 2.5 meters, compared to any plain stuff that the same kind of thing would be somewhere around 22 or 23 euros. So for the sake of kind of saving a significant portion per length of wood, we can just spend the time just planing and sanding and then oiling it ourselves, because we can. Also, for the style and design that we're going for, that it just makes a lot more sense to have this kind of stuff, because it's a little bit more rugged, a little bit more rough looking. We're building everything ourselves. We're building this entire kitchen, we're doing bedroom furniture, we're doing desks, we're doing the kitchen sink, we're doing all of it ourselves. So we're not carpenters by any means. This stuff is a little bit rougher, which means it can have that kind of rustic look and still look pretty okay for us having built it ourselves. So that's the plan. That's what we're doing this afternoon. We're going to start the work on building that. But this morning, I am going to get on and finish painting the stain on the worktops. Because another way you can kind of preserve and I guess seal non-varnished wood is like the Japanese way, yakisubi. There's another name for it, but I don't know what the name is. But if you don't know what it is, I'll put a picture on the screen. It's basically you just do a naked flame to the timber, and you kind of burn the outside of it. You can go pretty aggressive and like it be like fully black. You can see houses like that in Japan. I'll put a picture on the screen. So that's pretty aggressive. We're not going to do that much to this, but you can do a lighter version, and you just burn it as dark as you kind of want it. It does the same kind of thing, and you still get, if you do it lightly, you can still get the wood grain. You get a similar kind of look from the wood, but it does just seal it, and it's quite a cost-effective way of doing it as well. But we decided against that. Amy didn't love that idea, so we went with this, and it's like a similar effect, but there's less kind of contrast between the light and the dark. It's a bit closer together. It just looks really good. It's a similar kind of style. Alright, so that's number 2 done. Both done. Both fully varnished on both sides. What you will notice though, if you did notice on the video, is the end grains on this side we've left unvarnished. The other sides have been done. We will do these ends, but these aren't the final dimensions that these will stay in. They're gonna get cut. So one of them needs to cut down to about 1.8, and then one of them needs to be cut down to fit into the L shape. We will do the end grains once they're in position. So once we've cut, we will then do the end grains on the finished cuts. This is starting to dry out. We can see a couple of dark spots kind of where I've overlapped the varnish. So I haven't done as good a job on this one, but hopefully that once that dries out, it'll be slightly less visible and a bit more even. If it's not, once it's in place, we'll kind of just sand that out a little bit and then reapply in those areas. We've done the worktops, so I'm going to start work on the legs. What we're going to do is cut them all to size first. We're going to cut all the legs for the kitchen. Then we'll sand them down. Then we'll varnish them. So we're going to do it in that order. Yeah. So that makes a bit more sense.
Easier to move them around.
Easier to move them around. They're going to be a little bit less than 2.5 meters in length. So
mentally smaller task to do little ones and feel like you're making progress.
Yeah. All right. We'll set up and start chopping those down.
Okay.
We need a list. All right. Legs. On the design, they are 900mm tall.
Yeah.
And there is 10 of them. There you go. All right. Start chopping.
Choppy, choppy.
Oh, sorry.
God's sake. Go on, George.
Okay, that did not go well. And it's a test cut, you know.
Hope we got enough wood for it.
So, slight change of plan. The circular saw is very difficult to cut through that wood because it doesn't cut through the full width, and that's not really what it's used for. So we're going to go and get a miter saw, and whilst we're in the city, we're going to go and look at plates.
All the practical things you need to
move in 2 days.
Yeah. It's like a bump we didn't really plan for.
Yeah, we didn't plan. We bought
Story of this house so far.
We bought the circular saw because we need it anyway. So we thought it could double up and just use it for cutting these as well. And it's a lot more difficult than it seems. I've not actually used one before.
I'm not going to be any use at trying, so...
And it's very difficult to cut these because you have to do 2 cuts because it doesn't cut the entire way through. So we're going to get a miter saw.
And plates.
And plates. I think we now have the right saw.
We have 10 legs, more than a spider. We have 4 70mm posts.
They're just offcuts, yeah.
Yeah.
That we will use.
89.2.
What are we using them for?
Probably the bed.
For the legs for the bed.
Yeah.
A
really high bed, or
we're not.
Chop off a bit.
It's not going to be that tall. We're going to cut it out.
Okay.
There does need to be cutouts out of the top of these. Which you need doing.
Yeah. Guess we're doing more cutting wood stuff then.
Just cut some wood more.
Yeah. Alright then.
So we have all the legs cut for the L-shaped section of the kitchen, because we want to get that bit done first and kind of fitted with the hob in, so we can at least do some cooking. The legs take the most amount of work, mostly because they've got the little notches in the way we're building it. Now we're going to make the cross beams that go between those and kind of interlock atop those posts to allow the worktop to sit on top. So we're going to cut all those.
Yep.
We need to measure
Measuring.
them. We need to measure them first.
I've not fully understood what's involved now, so it's going to be great fun.
It'll make sense.
Yeah.
How are we looking?
Kitchen sesame.
So we think we've worked out all the measurements. We think we've got them. Now the boss is marking them up. Ready for cutting. So, update on where we're at and what we're doing. You are doing what?
Sweetie. I am staining the legs because they are now cross hatch cut up and sanded. So 3 of them are now stained, and then I'll start sanding the beams that will go across to support.
The cross pieces.
Yeah.
Ooh. And whilst Amy's been doing that, I've been marking up for the notches to cut out the cross beams. If this design doesn't make sense, don't worry.
I barely understand what's happening.
It's probably far more complicated than it needs to be.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of fun to do. So
For your first time kitchen build.
yeah, it's quite fun. So the cross beams will sit in between those cutout sections on the top of the upright posts, which means it'll give it pretty good support, and hopefully it'll fit together quite nicely and look pretty cool, even though you'll hardly see it because it'll be under the countertop, but we'll know that it's there. We've got all of the crossbeam sections set out into kind of where they're gonna be, so we've just been marking up for the first end cut for this notch where we should have a beam to fit and sit in there. Currently 8 p.m. We started at 9:30 this morning. We're going pretty well. We're going to try and finish up some bits tonight, so we've got a little bit more to go, and then we'll be back tomorrow.
And move in.
And move in. done for this evening. It is now 20 past 10.
Oh fuck. I thought it was like 9 o'clock.
No. So we're done for this evening. We're going to be back tomorrow morning because we move in tomorrow. We move out of the apartment we've been staying in, and we come and move here. So we've got kitchen to build and put together. We've pretty much nearly finished varnishing all of the bits that we've cut. So there's one beam, one cross piece that we haven't varnished, and then this will kind of make up the top level that will allow the worktop to go on top, and then we have to cut all the shelf sections. Those are way quicker because we just cut them to length and they all get screwed in rather than kind of joined. They're much quicker to do.
Simplified process.
Simplified. See you tomorrow. Good morning, happy Sunday, we're back. Last night was a pretty late one. By the time we actually got to bed it was about 1:30 a.m. because we didn't leave here till 10:30, and then had some editing and stuff to do to get the video ready to post today because it's Sunday. Amy has been painting the clear coat, kind of sealing coat over the legs. She's now doing the worktops so that we can start assembling the kitchen today. Obviously, like we said yesterday, this probably wasn't the most simple or time-effective way to put this all together. We could have just lobbed them together with screws, but this was a lot more fun, and it's kind of the first bit of like woodwork joinery that I decided to do, and it actually fit together. Well, we'll see how well it fits together. In the meantime, we need to actually see if we can get the water going.
Yeah.
Without it spraying out everywhere.
Because we live here now.
Because we live here now. Today
and we need a toilet.
Yeah, we need a working toilet. We might not have hot water because we still haven't put the boiler in yet, but we have it here, so we will do that. A toilet and some running water would actually be quite helpful. The pipe work I did earlier in the week. That has been set and fine for days. We just haven't got to doing the water. So we're going to try and turn the water on and see what happens.
Maybe it will shoot out of somewhere else.
Maybe.
Maybe it'll work like a dream.
We'll
Hopefully
see.
the latter.
Make sure that this one's closed. Oh, shit. That was dumb. And that one's closed. All right. Maybe get some buckets ready, just in case. Just going to turn them on.
Can I stay up here?
Yeah, maybe man...
Stand here, ready for water.
Yeah. I'm going to turn it on slowly. Right, we're on. It's on.
I hear water. Oh, it's kind of coming out the side of it.
What?
No, don't turn off.
Oh, shit. Sorry, I turned it the wrong way. Oh no. Well, that's not muito bem. It's pissing out from there, eh? So it was a bit of a false start with the water turn on. I don't know how many people who've done plumbing before will be screaming at the screen that that was not the right stuff to use, but oh well, we tried.
There's very few things that are the same thickness as what's been put in.
Yeah, and we can't find the right one, or we're not looking in the right place.
Our
but
boat is full of random bits of pipe that have been
fixtures
the wrong
and
size.
fittings and all.
We're trying.
Yeah, we're trying. We've not done this before, and it's part of the fun anyway. That's why we're doing it ourselves.
Yeah.
Because we could just pay people to come and do everything, but that kind of defeats the object.
Then you don't learn.
Then you don't learn. What I think we're going to do instead is there's kind of two sections of pipe. It comes in on a certain type of pipe, then changes onto another certain type of pipe, and that new certain type of pipe we need to connect to be able to connect up the water, and we can't find it anywhere or get it, so we're going to come back to the type of pipe that it comes in on, and we're going to try and get some of that and probably do a very temporary job of putting some pipe in and then figure out a better solution later on. Longest thread in the world. Right. Cool.
Day 5 million of water preparation.
So the pipework that we put in was not the right stuff.
Surprise!
The pipes actually broke off in the fittings, although the fittings were fitted tightly, the pipe itself broke. So we took all of that out and then replaced it with the same kind of pipe that comes in from the water meter. And for anyone that's used rolls of HDP pipe before, you'll know it's very difficult to actually get it into the shape that you want. The only means of heating it so that we could bend it was a hairdryer. So we had to heat the pipe inch by inch with the hairdryer to bend it into shape to get it where we needed it to go. So these fittings are all in. They are all tightened up, super tight, so they should be, hopefully, very snug. We'll see. Got one more to put on down there. Here we go. Piped. So there we are with our plumbing setup. It's all plumbed in. It's connected. The glue needs to dry. There's only glue on one of the joints. HDPE. Apparently you don't glue. Let me know in the comments if that's correct, incorrect. Let me know. But that is a very temporary solution. Hence the cable ties holding it all in. Hopefully it means we just will be able to use the toilet and it be a functioning household with water. We are moving in tonight. The kitchen, no bueno, not done. But we will get it finished fairly soon. But you want to see tonight's sleeping arrangement.
Yeah.
How's it going? Is it alright?
This is a slow process. So with currently no kitchen, no toilet, no shower. So we just had the first night in our house and came outside thinking we'll turn the car on and we'll get warm inside because it was cold inside.
Yeah, it's almost a bit chilly.
Oh, look at this!
Actual freezing in a house with no heating.
Or insulation. Or sealed windows.
We did think it was a bit cold. We're like, oh yeah, maybe it's just this is how cold it is in the evenings. But no, it's actually froze overnight, which it has not been this cold the entire time we've been here so far.
But we survived.
Yeah.
In apparently 0 degree temperature.
So whilst we were in bed last night about 9 PM because it was freezing, we decided to search for every option for trying to make the house much warmer. So
we've looked at double glazing windows and fire burning heaters and thermal curtains and space heaters.
Many different options.
I don't think we should get all of them.
Yeah, we need one of each. So yeah, we're going to try and maybe figure that out at some point. But double glazing windows might be the one for the back windows at least.
Yeah, and a space heater for like immediately.
Yeah. Now it's time to see if our water
froze overnight.
Yeah, froze overnight, or if our water actually works. So hopefully,
honestly, this is a great contraption.
It's impressive. So, oh yeah, we didn't actually see it last night because it was too dark. All right, let me show you. So what we did is we connected up to this pipe that was already here that brings the water in from the meter. There was a connected onto this joint here that goes to that tap under the steps and up to there. We can't get that pipe in any of the shops that we went to, so we decided to change it out for this one, and we put on a connector there. This pipe, which is very temporary, runs and joins up to where we need the water. So we're going to turn it on and see if it works.
Fingers crossed.
Hopefully we don't get a repeat of yesterday.
Pray for us. Scream if it doesn't work.
Okay. Right, so we're going for a literal repeat of yesterday. A little bit to start with. Let's go see.
Stop!
Turn it off.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. What happened? Oh, really? Oh, God's sake. Some of the fittings were just a bit loose or not as tight as they should have been, or pushed all the way in because we were manoeuvring the pipe and it kind of pulled out the fittings a little bit. They are now all kind of working. The water now comes to all the places that it should.
That one's not.
But we now found there's a leak in one of the pipes that runs under the terrace, which is the old pipe that brings the water in from the meter. So there's literally a hole in that pipe. Yeah. Hopefully should be just chop it out, put a fitting in, and it should work. Hopefully.
We've got our nice new mugs and Yeti.
Yeah, we got matching mugs. They match the house with the same colour. That was not on purpose.
My friend Lucy said that you have to have matching mugs, otherwise you don't love each other. So just before we left the crockery shop, we grabbed some matching mugs because ours are all a mishmash of different things.
Yeah.
So at least something matches. Yeah. Follow the wardrobe.
Look at all this stuff.
We found the absolute best estate agent going. They watched our video the other night and then shot us a message to ask if we wanted any furniture, and we thought that we had like a wardrobe, a chest of drawers and a table. We've got a full furniture shop now. I'm so excited. It's like Christmas, but a couple of weeks early. I'm buzzing. This is actually the best thing ever. It's got cute little drawers. Little ones here. Big 3 mirrors. Honestly, I'm so excited. I'm going to learn how to restore furniture. I can't wait.
Chris and Kirsty were amazing, like for the whole process of buying the house. It was genuinely the easiest and most simple process in the entire world.
Yeah.
They took care of everything. They had the right people, like a lawyer and home insurance people, to get all of the stuff done.
Money transfer people.
Money transfer, like literally everything. It was so easy.
They also just understood exactly what we wanted and what we were about, so we shared kind of what our plans had been. And then they took us to kind of houses that they thought fitted with what we wanted to do, with what our vision was, with like the renovation that we wanted to do. They understood that fitness was important to us, so they took us to a gym to get a tour and ask about like how much it was to sign up and how to sign up and all that kind of stuff. They took us to different viewpoints, like told us different cafes and things because I love cake. They told us all the things so we could get a sense of the region and the area to decide if we wanted to live here, as much as whether we wanted to move into the houses that they showed us. It was awesome.
How did all this arrive?
They met us in town and Chris drove everything and put the wardrobe and the table in the back of his van and loaded up our car, and then they went to a different storage unit and brought this one as well. So absolute legends. Not only had the stuff for us to pinch, but even hand delivered it to our house. They're awesome.
Thank you so much for watching. We did finally get some water and the piping into the house is now sorted. We'll be back to finish the kitchen build in the next video, so you'll have to come back and see how it turns out.